This is 1360 AM. WNJC, Washington Township, Philadelphia. Philadelphia's Renaissance radio station. Brought to you from Forsyth Broadcasting. Or listen to us at WNJCradio.com.
Okay, everyone, it's time to put on your listening ears, thinking caps, and laughing shoes. It's time for the Doc and Amy Show with your sweethearts of the airwaves who agree to disagree. Well, sometimes. Take it away, Doc and Amy.
Feel blame?
No.
Feel image?
Oh, yeah.
Are you mad?
Uh-huh.
Do you feel like Woods Bob Referendus? Get Fred?
Oh, yeah. What kind of crap?
Okay. And I sit here every time we come on the air and I watch Amy mouthing the words along with Charles Manson. It's incredibly inaccurate, but it's entertaining.
I'm not mouthing the words. I'm just flapping my gums. There's a difference.
I know. I'm used to that. Anyway, welcome to the Doc and Amy Show. We are here excited today because we have a special guest, and that is Dee Wallace. You remember her as the mom in E.T. and Cujo and about a million other things. And we'll be talking about that. She has an ongoing career, lots and lots of things in the works. So I'm
very excited.
I am excited. I spoke with her on the phone earlier. She's a very nice lady. So I just can't wait to get this thing underway. There are several ways that you can join this frivolity. You can email us at docandamy@gmail.com. You can twit us. And that is at Doc and Amy Show. You can visit our website, which is www.thedocandamyshow.com on the World Wide Web. And you could, just, if you can find us, just say hello. Anyway, Amy's over typing furiously. God knows what that's about. John is with us. Hello, John. How are you doing?
How's it going?
I'm doing fine. I was picking on you earlier, so, that was all in good fun. I hope he's...
It's all good.
Yeah.
I deserve it. I haven't won two people one quote in about a month and a half. So.
Well, you know what? I'm not... That notwithstanding, I just don't want you shutting my mic off in the middle of this. No, but John is a stalwart competitor, and he's very with the program here. He's a good sport. So we love John, and as much as we pick on him, and as much as he loses, it's okay. So you can, again, call us at 856-22... Oh, wait a minute. Let me readjust here. Today, we have an alternate number. It's 856-232-7077. We're going to be talking with Dee Wallace on the usual line, so you can call us on the alternate line, which is, again, 856-232-7077. If you have questions for Dee Wallace, if you have questions for us, if you have comments, keep them to yourself, and we will cruise on with the show.
Yeah, I just tweeted to our tweetees.
Did you? Oh,
yeah, Dee Wallace on the show, listen in, phone home.
Oh, very good. Okay.
That was a really bad impression.
I'm sorry. I don't know.
No.
There were several voices that they used in that movie. One of them was this lady from California who smoked 2 packs of cigarettes a day.
Oh my
and that's
gosh!
Whose voice they sampled for
Wow.
E.T. Yeah, they tried several other actors and I can't remember. One of them was integral. It played another part in the. And I'm sure I'll pull that up, but. They animal sounds, all kinds of things. They were looking for a specific sound, and they got. Let's see. I'm sure I will find it here in a second.
I'm sure you will.
Anyway, that makes for scintillating radio.
Oh yeah. Anyway, hold on 1 second. Wait a minute. Hold on. That's great.
But Dee Wallace is with us, and she will be joining us shortly. And I'm looking for that specific reference. I did so much. Investigation on this.
I just remember watching that movie as a kid, and we actually went to the theater to watch it, and
really?
It was just and it was awesome. It was just.
I don't like theaters. Too many people.
It was so much fun and just so I hate to say this word, touching and heartwarming.
Aww.
And I remember that Neil Diamond song, "Turn On Your Heart Light."
What?
You don't remember that Neil Diamond song, "Turn On Your Heart Light"? in the middle of a young boy's dream. That was on the soundtrack.
Okay. Well, if Todd does a cover of that, I'm sure I'll hear it. That's referencing, of course, Todd Chappelle, our friend of the show. He does an amazing Neil
He
Diamond.
does. He sounds just like him.
Yeah.
I haven't heard him sing that song, though. Old MacDonald and Baby Got Back. Both of which don't really fit with E.T., but...
I am having so much trouble here.
Well, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't.
It does to me.
Maybe we can find it later.
Well, that's all right. You just keep talking. I'll find
I don't really have anything else to say.
Dee Wallace has had an amazing career, and I'm looking at the IMDb listing for, all of her, basically her CV here as far as what she's done in film and television and so forth. Amazing. I mean, just amazing. She's been at Bones and Crossing Jordan and all CSI, I think, all kinds of things. What I'm looking for is... here it is. Deborah Winger was selected to do part of the voice.
Okay. They had different people doing the same voice?
They pursued all kinds of different things.
Oh, okay.
And she ended up playing Nurse Zombie, carrying a poodle. She was uncredited, but she was in E.T.
Oh, okay.
So, there you go. And for you E.T. phobes out there, E.T. files, not E.T. phobes.
I was going to say,
Sorry.
who's afraid of E.T.?
It's kind of a goofy, kind of scary looking guy
he's not
with glowing fingers
He's
and big eyes. And now, if E.T. walked up to you in the dark,
he's like this big. I think he's real. I think it's a nonfiction movie.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I choose to believe that.
Probably Valerie Jarrett or something. Anyway, well, we do have Dee Wallace with us, and thank you all for sticking with us. Are you there, Dee? Hello. It's a little technical glitch.
Yeah.
Are you with us, Dee? Hello.
Yeah, I'm here. You sound like you're in an echo chamber, but I'm here.
We are. We actually transmit from the Grand Canyon. So,
yeah, okay.
Thank you for joining us. We have been anxiously anticipating this for a long, long time, and we certainly are thankful that you were able to join us.
Well, thank you. You guys are hysterical to listen to bantering back and forth.
You ought to live with us.
Neil Diamond wrote that song. My understanding, anyway, wrote that song to submit to it, but it was never actually used in E.T. It came out after E.T. was released.
Oh, really?
See, there you go.
Wow.
And you are right about Deborah Winger. She did voice, E.T.
Now, and one of the other things I realized after some of my research, Harrison Ford was kind of sliced out of E.T.
Yeah, basically, Stephen didn't want any adults other than me who he thought was very childlike anyway. Until all of the bad adults, the people who were after E.T. came in.
Right.
So, yes, Harrison Ford played the principal.
Right. And
pretty much off camera the whole time.
Well, and it's amazing. And Steven Spielberg, as I understand it, he was very... he was quite a proponent of using children. He was very, what's the word I'm looking for? He really sought out the proper child for the part. And Drew Barrymore, apparently didn't do so well until she actually got some one-on-one banter going with him. And then finally, it was ordained that she was in the movie. All kinds of good things.
All I can tell you is the kids are fabulous. They, acting to kids is nothing. It's just plain pretend. But I mean, Stephen did have a wonderful way of interacting with them, and actually, a lot of the way that he directed everybody, including me, was he just throw things out. Okay, well, say this now, Drew, and say this now, Henry, and take a bite of your hamburger and say that now, Drew. And, a lot of times he would give people lines and not tell the rest of us so he could get a more real
Yeah,
reaction.
That's kind of genius. That's makes it very spontaneous.
That's really good directing. I love to work that way. It would drive some actors absolutely bonkers, but I love to just be in the moment and be real in what would happen. Like my reaction to no penis breath talk in my house. You know, if you'd gotten that way far ahead, your brain tells you now you have to be the mother, you know, and
right.
be more stern. But when it happened in the moment, it just made me laugh.
Yeah.
It added to the more comedic sense of the movie, I'm sure. I'm having
a real hard time hearing you guys. So.
Okay, well, we'll put John, our producer, on that. Maybe he can tweak that a little bit for us.
I thought that reaction from you. Now, this is as an adult, not when I watched it as a child. It made you seem more vulnerable when you laughed.
Well, I think it makes you more real, too.
Right.
Because to be in the experience of where you're really at instead of what you think you ought to do, people get the truth of that.
Right, yes.
They can relate to the truth of it. And
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I was going to say, if your personal feelings get in the way of the part, then that, all bets are off. And now that I know this about, Steven Spielberg's directing style, I think it sounds like pure genius to me. And make it spontaneous.
Well, I'm not sure he directs everything that way. I know that, for example, Harrison Ford likes to rehearse a lot. And we did not rehearse much in E.T. because the more you rehearse with kids, the more they do it the same.
Right, it's stilted, yeah. Well, when you're being chased by a giant boulder.
I think the brilliance of Spielberg as a director is that he really figures out the best way he's going to get the best from the actors he hires and learns how to direct with their style, and that's the mark of a really brilliant producer and director.
Right, he seems like a very insightful kind of guy, and that I think contributes to his success. Sure. Just the things that it's not like he's doing documentaries out there. He's trying to appeal to our fantasy world, and it's amazing. Now, I do want to, if I may, I know we talk to a lot of folks, and they have things that they're doing currently, and sometimes they anticipate not getting that out. So I'd like to kind of cover what you're doing now and maybe go backwards if we can, so that we make sure that we let people know what you're up to now, if that's okay.
Well, I appreciate that. The other side of me is that I do a lot of energy work with people. I really train people how to use and manipulate, if you will, and consciously create out of their energy what they want in their lives. And I work with people all over the world on this, and I'm going to be on a May tour back there going through Doylestown, Pennsylvania, New York, Massachusetts, Maine, Connecticut. Really, really, really excited. If anybody's interested in really empowering your lives and creating what you want, which, after 160 films, you got to know I'm pretty good at that.
Yeah, no kidding.
And being happier and being healthier and certainly making more money. You can check out where I'm going to be around your neighborhood. My website is iamdwallace.com, and you want to look for the May tour on there, and it'll tell you where I'm going to be and the dates I'm going to be. I'm also recurring on Grimm right now on NBC, and I've got about 4 movies coming out.
Awesome.
So, I'm doing a lot of different stuff, all of which I love, creating a lot of great stuff out here in the world, and I just like to get out and play with everybody,
Well, if you get close by the Philadelphia area, please stop by and see us, because I'm really intrigued about that making more money thing.
Just about everybody I work with increases their income. I can tell you that. Certainly becomes healthier. And I'm going to be in Doylestown, actually.
Okay.
At Susan Duvall's seminars. So you can either pull up Susan Duvall, or you can go to my website, and I'll be there in May. I think it's the second week of May. I'll be teaching a seminar and doing private hourly sessions.
Awesome.
Oh, excellent. Well, it's visited your website. There's so much going on there. You have so much information there about personal development and empowering people and pulling out their own strengths. It's amazing. I was trying to get through all of it and just couldn't at one sitting. So I definitely encourage people to check that out. There are all kinds of things going on there, and
there's a lot of great free stuff on there too to help people.
Excellent. Yeah. I also went into another site. Let's see, where is this? The Daily Mail, I guess. I don't know. There's a picture of you. I guess you're at the L'Hermitage Hotel in Beverly Hills. And I have to say that of all the ladies who can really do the little black dress justice, they must be tired of being in line behind you. Amazing photographs. So you're just stunning.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
People tell me with great surprise in their voice, "Oh my God, do you look so good?" And I really do believe it's because of all the energy and healing work that I do.
Oh, sure.
You let go of all the garbage and the judgment and the hatred and all that stuff. You let go of all that stuff from your energy, and your energy really lifts itself up, and your body starts responding, your health starts responding, you start looking younger. So it's easy to learn, guys, and it's really easy to access.
Yeah, it's much. I find it's better not to dwell on things and just try to remain positive. And I don't, if I get irritated at something, it doesn't last very long.
Something that means me.
Well, the more you dwell on things and try to fix stuff, the more you're keeping your focus on the negative.
Right.
Yeah, and it's not always about you.
That's what most of us are really trying to do. We're trying to fix the negative in order to create the positive, and it doesn't work.
Right, and that's so much. It was a boss of mine. A guy was a district manager when I first got out of the Navy. He'd grown up. I guess I have to say it this way, in the mafia. So he was a challenge to work for. He would knock you out of your chair if he didn't agree with what you said. So he was pretty straightforward, and he would say that he used the 88, 10, and 2 rule, and I'm not sure if folks are familiar.
Hey, what? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. He used to say what?
He subscribed to the 88, 10, and 2 rule, which means that 88% of the things that you worry about will never happen. 10% really won't affect you, and 2% you can deal with. And
that's but I would differ in that by saying you really are in total control of your life from the reactions you choose to have to what happens.
I agree.
And when you can take yourself out of a reactionary and remind yourself that you are always in control of your choice, then the victimness and that feeling of kind of being at the whim of the world isn't so prevalent in your life, and it really gives you so much power back to yourself.
Oh, yeah.
That you can literally shift your focus in. But if you can't remember that you have a choice, guys, you're kind of dead before you start.
Right, you're not getting out of the gate. Well, it's like I told the youngest today. He was in a little bit of hot water, and I said, your attitude and your actions, create the reactions that we have. So, you can cut to the chase by doing what you should do, and you won't get the reactions that you don't like. And I got a blank stare for a little bit, and then it finally dawned on him.
It's within his control. And you know what? This is what I tell people often about being in a bad relationship or an abusive relationship or whatever the case, whether it's a man and woman thing or just a friendship or whatever. Yes, you were, the other person was 100% wrong. However, you made choices or a choice somewhere along the line that whether consciously or subconsciously, you allowed this to happen. And then you continued to allow it to happen. So once you take responsibility yourself, it doesn't mean you're blaming yourself. It doesn't mean you should feel guilty. You're just taking responsibility by figuring out where you went wrong by allowing yourself to be treated like that for the first time. It won't happen again because you'll recognize the signs and you'll be able to put your foot down, because people go on to have another relationship and they say, you know, the other person they're in a relationship, she can't trust me, she was cheated on.
They make the same
it's
mistakes,
not about, it doesn't matter what you do as the other person and how trustworthy you are and how patient and how kind has nothing to do with you. It's because they don't trust themselves because they made a bad decision before and they never went back and thought about it. So you're right, you can't play the victim. You have to accept responsibility for what you did in the past and move on, and it won't happen again.
Wow,
nobody is the reason that you can't create who you want to be right now.
Exactly.
Period. Nobody, no thing, nothing that's happened is the reason that you are holding yourself back right now. And when you really get that, man, your life takes off.
Yeah,
unbelievably.
What really has struck me in the last few minutes is that I'm listening to all this and gaining so much from it, and I was such an idiot because a few years ago I paid $130 an hour for this. No, this is you're absolutely right. People are in control of their own environment and their own reactions to things, and you know, that's something that if you really subscribe to that, you know, you can have a lot more control over what happens to you.
And Dee, you're proof of this because, you know, it's been a while. You've been an actress for a long time. You're still actively working. You have other things that you're doing successfully. You're happy and you look great. So obviously you're doing something right.
Yeah, and
you know, I just turned a very young 65. I'm not on any medications. I've gotten myself off of all the medications, you know.
That's awesome.
That they say you never can get off of, like thyroid. My blood pressure is the lowest it's ever been in my life. My blood sugar is perfect. So, and it wasn't always. And I wasn't always happy. You know, people are going, yeah, well, you're a movie star, and so life's great. Well, life wasn't always great. You know, I come from a really poor family. My father was a drunk. He committed suicide when I was a senior in high school.
Oh, gosh.
I lost my beloved husband of 18 years before he was 55. You know, I've been hurt in the business. That's my story. We all have a story. But if we keep telling our story and saying, my story is the reason that I can't be brilliant and magnificent and know that today, then you'll just live the story for the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's your ending.
You're the only one that's choosing to write that story.
Exactly, and you've written your own ending already, and that's just self-defeating.
You know, when we know that we're the writers, the directors, the producers, the press agents, the editors, you know, to make a metaphor of the movie industry, we play all those parts in our own lives.
Yeah, exactly. I just wish I could get somebody in makeup.
When we take our choice and our control back to do that, our lives just soar.
Okay.
And
exactly. Exactly. And
so I'll get off my back.
That's okay.
No, I have to be my own stunt double. So that's what's holding me back. I got too many broken bones. Now, I do want to talk about, you know, our listeners obviously are interested in all of the things that you're up to. I didn't know this myself until I really did some research. You have been going crazy. You've got, you know, television and film credits. You know, I'm going back here. I have to scroll down to the last couple of years. It's just amazing the amount of work you've been turning out. You know, anything that we should be looking for that you're particularly proud of or that might be on the horizon?
Oh, yeah. I'm coming out in the new Beach Boys movie, Love and Mercy.
Oh,
I have an
here, yeah.
awesome film called Zombie Killers, Elephant's
Graveyard. Uh-huh.
It really is a wonderful film where I play a woman dying of cancer. It's a part that a part that I haven't ever had an opportunity to play before. And I actually share one scene with my beautiful daughter, Gabrielle Stone, who's having even more success as an actress this year than I am. So, and I've got 2 or 3 other smaller films coming out, more independent films, and I'm recurring on Grimm on NBC.
I see that, and you're playing Alice.
Mother.
Yes.
So everybody write in for me because I want to come back next season.
Hey,
I also just did a part reuniting with Steven Spielberg in his new pilot, The Visitors. So, lots of exciting things.
Oh, absolutely.
On the horizon for this next year that I've already started creating now. But I'm passionately involved in my healing work. I'm really excited about the speaking tour. I love to be out and literally see people's lives change, while we're sitting there in the room.
Right.
And it can happen that fast. It can happen in 3 hours, guys. I promise you, it can.
And you do some radio yourself, as I see.
Yes, I have a couple of radio shows on every week. They're on my website. You can click and go right to them. They're free call-in shows. So anything and everything that you're challenged by, money or health or relationships, you can call in. I'm a clairaudient channel, and the channel will give you the highest information around what it's really about, where your block is, and how to move through it.
Well, I'm sure I'll be calling you as
well, call in, baby. I'll take care of you.
It would be good to we love having you on our show. Maybe I can't grace the airwaves in return quite as well, but I got plenty of problems. So
the one thing I noticed that stuck out to me that you have done in the last few years was Warehouse 13.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, I had a ball.
We love, especially my kids, absolutely love that show.
That and Doctor Who. They're nuts.
My God, those young people are such a hoot to work with. I had so much fun with them. They're just crazy. They're just, and I have to say, all the people on Grimm too. All the actors, they love each other. They love working together. It's just a really, really wonderful experience to be among all these young people that are having so much fun.
Yeah, and Warehouse 13.
Come to our house.
Warehouse 13.
Okay.
I didn't know if they were acting, if it was just acting, but it just seems like the characters on the show have such great chemistry and so much fun together. And I guess it translates because it's compelling and gripping, and it's, we just love it.
When it's authentic, that's the way the audience feels about it. You really get that it's authentic.
We're so sad it's going to be over. The first episode of the last season starts, I think, Monday at 9.
Yeah.
It's very sad.
Everybody's got to move on and fry their chops at something else.
Well, if you remember back to I Love Lucy, Vivian Vance and William Frawley hated each other, which was perfect.
Oh, hell, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was perfect fuel for their relationship on screen because they hated each other. So they were. It worked out. There's a lot of backstory there. Vivian Vance had some crazy things going on in her life, but I digress on that. Well, that's another show. It was amazing to me when I started doing some research for this. The two movies that immediately stuck out to my mind were, of course, E.T. and Cujo. And my brother had a dog that was identical to Cujo and with the same temperament. So that
really, because we had 11 dogs on Cujo, 11 real dogs.
Wow.
And they were just the sweetest little babies. They were all trained to go after toys. And so on action, the trainer would say, dig for your toy, dig for your toy. And so they would look all ferocious from the waist up, but we would actually have to tie their tails down with like fish wire so that you couldn't see them wagging their tails.
They were playing, yeah.
Well, I would be surprised to ever find a St. Bernard who's vicious, but you You think you had a mean one, did you?
Well, my brother was vicious, and I guess that turned out.
The
passed
dog took on your brother's persona.
Yes, this dog. He was the size of a locomotive, and he. One story. I mean, my brother's son and his friend were playing football in the yard, and the ball rolled over to the dog, and he just reached over to grab it and just immediately deflated it. Poof! It was gone. And a girl that I was dating at the time thought she could go and play with the dog, and he started getting a little bit irritated. And she took off, and he bit her. Delicately
on her hindquarters.
Her entire gluteus maximus on one side in his mouth, and tore her jeans, all kinds of things. And my dad, who was equally vicious, a couple of days later, she came back around the family and God help her, and he said, you should be ashamed of yourself. And she said, why? He said, well, that dog bit you, and he's been over there in the yard licking his butt trying to get the taste out of it now. So everybody was kind of, I don't know. I didn't quite fit in with the family. Everybody was just a little bit bloodthirsty. But that was a big dog. He was chained with 3/8-inch chain we used to tow cars with.
Oh, yeah, they're big.
Yeah,
they're very big.
We had him tied to a Buick Special. I'll never forget it. It had 4 flat tires that had been sitting there. My dad had an automotive shop, and he drug that car. He kept running the end of the chain and drug that car up against the gate so you couldn't open it anymore. So we had to cut the chain and push the car and redo it. He was enormous, and I'm not really sure whatever happened to him, but he didn't. He was the scourge of the neighborhood.
I have a thing, like a little bit of an obsession with big dogs. Like, I'll just go online and look at pictures of really big dogs. I just think they're so cool.
Like RuPaul?
Yeah, I've always had shepherds. Well, that's not true. I had a little cockapoo who was a wonderful dog. But most of my dogs, I just lost my dog of 16 years. She was a beautiful white shepherd wolf mix.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's a sin.
She was my soulmate, bless her heart. But she had a good 16 years.
Oh, wow.
That's a long time. That's a really long time for a dog to live. My cat passed away. I guess it was 3 years ago. She was 23. 23 years she lived. I mean, I was so sad, but it's like, how can you complain? Because most cats are lucky.
23 years.
It's a long time. Yeah, it's a long time. She had a good life, so.
Well, when I grew up, we had 2 monkeys. Not at the same time. That'd be ridiculous.
And your brother?
Yes, and 2 other monkeys. Yeah, it was hard to tell the monkeys and my brother apart. He was pretty furry himself. But no, we had a capuchin and a spider monkey. The spider monkey, they said it was a monkey. It was pretty much just a fully automated high-speed biting machine. But the capuchin was like an organ grinder monkey, was my mentor. He was a genius. So all of my physical comedy that I do, I got from him. So he was amazing.
That's funny. We learn what we know from our animals.
That's right, and parents or pets or whatever. But yeah, I came from a pretty unique family. When I write my autobiography, I'm sure it's probably going to be a big surprise to a lot of people. But,
that's great.
Yeah, it will go against Darwin's theory completely, probably.
So let me ask you a question, Dee. Did you get to meet Stephen King when you did Cujo?
We did. He came down for one day at the very beginning of the shoot. Beautiful gentleman. Really liked him. Very quiet. Yeah. And I said to him, dude, how do you get all that stuff out of your head?
Yeah, no kidding.
And you want it out.
He said, Dee, it's just, the stories just tell themselves. So I really liked Stephen, and he's a big fan of Cujo. He has gone on record many times as saying it's his favorite rendition, movie rendition of any of his books. So
yeah, I mean, I've read.
Very glad we didn't kill the kid in the end.
Yeah.
Well, he, from what I understand, he went through a period where he was drinking quite a bit, and that was where Cujo came from. There were no in the chapter separations. It was just kind of like you move on to another chapter, and it's not like real headings and things like that. He was just kind of a stream of consciousness for him, and he was amazed that it came out the way it did. You have to be a genius.
Prolific.
Yes, you have to be some kind of genius to write a book that's a stream of consciousness that becomes a movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm working on a World War II espionage novel myself, and it's pretty much just like you read it, it's like a word search.
It's like a word search.
Wow, well, good luck with that.
Thank you very much. Now, I do want to, and you're welcome to stay with us. We do some quizzes and things like that. Of course, we always invite everybody to hang around.
I'm getting every other word that you're saying, and I'm at a convention, and I'm going to have to get back to my table.
Okay.
Pretty soon, but I want to take a few minutes to just wrap up whatever you would like to wrap up.
Well, what we would like to wrap up is that we encourage folks to visit your website. I had it was a great source of information for me. We want to tell folks to keep their eyes out for all of your most recent work: The Death House, Love and Mercy, Zombie Killers, Elephant's Graveyard, all of those things that are coming out. And you're playing just a broad variety of parts. It's amazing that you're just like just working all the time, it looks like. But give us again your website, and we want to encourage folks to be there.
The website is iamdwallace.com. And if you're interested in coming to see me in May, look for the May tour. You can find that on my website, and they have links to each of the places that I'll be, and you can call or sign up online for them. Excellent. Love to see you there. It's incredibly empowering work. It's fun. Creation's really fun when you know you can do it.
Oh, absolutely.
And we have a lot of fun. A lot of people call me the Reverend Healer, so just giving you a heads up about that. But we have a lot of fun, and you'll really take your life back. And learn how to be the master of your own life. It's So
awesome.
Awesome.
Well, we appreciate that. We are going to be looking forward and back to all of your work here in Grimm, and we want to make sure everybody lobbies to keep you involved in that.
Right in.
We are going to do that, and you may yet hear from me on your radio show. You can't say you haven't been warned, but we certainly appreciate you taking the time to visit with us.
Well, thank you so much. It's really been lovely being with you. I'm sorry I'm not supposed to be away from my table at all, but I took my lunch hour so I could talk to you.
Well, thank you.
But I'm going to have to get back. Much love to all your listeners. Thank you so much for
Thank you, Dee.
Thanks, Dee. It was a pleasure being a part of this, and call us anytime.
Thank you.
Right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, that was Dee Wallace. Again, you know her as the lovely mom on E.T. and Cujo. It was great to have her with us. And what we're going to do is we have some commercial announcements that we always do, and we're going to get to those. We will be right back, and we'll just have a little bit more fun at the Doc and Amy Show. Hey, everybody. This is Doc of the Doc and Amy Show. I just wanted to let you in on a secret of mine. CPS Computers. They've been serving the area's computer needs for over 8 years now, and when it comes to computers, they can help you out too. They have a wide variety of new PCs and laptops to choose from. They do free diagnostics, and they can repair your broken machine for you. That's CPS Computers. They're at 722 Mantua Pike at the Heights Plaza, and they're between the Subway and the Dollar Tree. Visit them or call 856-251-1007. That's 251-1007. And be sure to tell them Doc and Amy sent you. And don't forget about CPS Computers' second location in Cinnaminson at 1204 US 130, suite number 4. They have all the same equipment, same deals, same diagnostics that you need for your computer. Give them a call, 856-829-8300. That's 829-8300. CPS Computers in Cinnaminson. Hey, if you'd like to be a guest on the Doc and Amy Show and exhibit your talent, let us know about it at www.thedocandamyshow.com, right there on the World Wide Web. That's thedocandamyshow.com. If you're an up-and-coming performer, if you have some kind of talent you'd like to showcase on our program, we'd love to have you. Just let us know. www.thedocandamyshow.com. You could be our next star. Well, there you go. We just had a delightful verbal discussion, whatever.
Verbal discussion?
Yes.
Wow,
conversation with Dee Wallace, and she's an amazing woman. All kinds of things going on with her. Please check out her website, iamdeewallace.com. She is such a delightful person to talk to. I thought this was the second time today I talked to her, and just delightful lady. We do have, as always, we're shifting gears a little bit, a segment of our show that is my favorite, which is Two People, One Quote. And remember that you are certainly able to call in here and be a part of this at 856-227-1360. That line is open now, and you can certainly use it, 227-1360. Amy and John have this ongoing thing, the Two People, One Quote. And for those of you perhaps listening for the first time, what that is, Amy offers a quote, and then she supplies two potential authors for that quote, and John has to guess which is the actual author. Now, Amy is up 5 games right now because
I hope John wins this week.
We haven't been able to get John to stay up late enough to do his homework. So these are usually late night talk show hosts, and these are quotes, and Amy will give those, and he has to pick from the late night hosts, which narrows it down amazingly to about 5-6 people. So John, good luck this time.
Thank you.
Don't go with your gut. Just go the other way. And right now, we are going to see how this plays out. Amy is up 5 games. Let's see if John makes a comeback here.
Okay, here we go. A math blogger says he's figured out the world's favorite number. It turns out that it's 7, the least popular number, the fake phone number you get when the fake phone number you get when you tell a girl you're a math blogger. Jimmy Fallon or Craig Ferguson?
Craig Ferguson.
Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, boy. Okay, don't go with your gut. Okay. Amy has pulled ahead 1. Let's see how this goes.
Apparently, a lot of people are naming their kids after characters from Game of Thrones. The name Khaleesi has gone way up. What better way to be reminded of gratuitous sex and violence than whenever you call your child? Was it Craig Ferguson or Jimmy Kimmel?
I'm going to go with Craig Ferguson again.
It was Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh, my God, John. Amy,
that's right.
Amy stands at 2 right now, and there was an added line after that. It was saying if parents shouldn't name their kids names like Khaleesi because it's just torture for the Starbucks baristas or something like that.
Yeah.
They call your name, and if it's not like Joe, they're
done. It's all over.
So anyway, Amy, it's at 2 to nothing for Amy. Let's come on, John.
Okay, here we go. The federal judge presiding over a court case between Apple and Samsung has threatened to confiscate all phones following frequent disruptions, while lawyers from BlackBerry just now got the email with the court date. Was it Seth Meyers or David Letterman?
I'm going to say Seth Meyers.
Yes! I almost told it.
David Letterman isn't that tech savvy. So, John's on the board with 1. Now we're getting somewhere.
Okay. Captain America is currently the #1 movie in China. The Chinese say their favorite part is when Captain America asks Captain China for a $17 trillion loan. Was that Conan O'Brien or Craig Ferguson?
I'm going to go with Craig Ferguson.
It was Conan.
Okay. Amy is at 3 to John's 1. However, we always do 5. John has a chance to double his score here, so let's see what number 5 brings.
Okay. On the program tonight, Lindsay Lohan. She thinks I'm Dr. Phil. She's very excited to be here tonight because this means she'll have an alibi. Was it David Letterman or Craig Ferguson?
Gonna go with Craig Ferguson one last time.
David Letterman.
Okay, 4-1 again in Amy's favor. 2 people, 1 quote.
Who said 4-1 again in Amy's favor? Was it Doc or was it Amy?
Okay.
Who said okay?
we're giving you some...
we used to go back and forth each week.
Throwing you some lobs.
Yeah, that's okay. That's all right.
Well,
it's not like I win anything for winning at my own game.
Okay,
so.
John,
John.
We've been doing this for some time now.
Yeah.
And it's late night hosts.
Okay, stop.
You can
No, don't tell him to cheat. No.
No, I'm just saying.
No, I know what you're just saying.
They're
Stop.
on network television.
But he's not going to watch.
All you have to do is TiVo the monologues.
Seriously, do you think he's actually going to watch every late night thing every night?
John, this is like 15 minutes worth of research.
No,
really.
it's not.
I swear.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, and then you can come on and just trounce her everywhere.
5-0.
Yeah. You can just come on and just wipe it. The 6-game lead will disappear. I swear. Just a hint.
Okay. I'm going to take your advice.
All right. So Amy, with the 2 people, 1 quote, 4-1 again. Of course, it is her game. So
I wish I won something.
Here you go.
Oh, thanks.
There.
It's a lid to a cup.
There you
wow.
go. Yeah.
My own cup that I already own.
Okay, here's a pen.
That's mine too.
That's not your pen.
Here's your arm.
Let me break this finger off and stick in your ear. All right, so we're past that, I guess.
I guess we are.
2 people, 1 quote. If you have some ideas for some quotes that we can use, certainly call us, 856-227-1360. You can email us, docandamy@gmail. You can go on our website, thedocandamyshow.com. You can tweet us at Doc and Amy Show.
You can visit us. We live at... No.
You don't want to do that. Anyway, moving on. This is a format that is based entirely on the adequate, if not proper, use of the English language. English language.
You just said English.
I was one for a second. Okay. I was one with the universe. 1-year-old with the universe. There are all kinds of words that we use every day to communicate. Now, there are these people who are trying to turn the language into gobbledygook, and it really ticks me off.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's one of them right there. No, it's like the tech speak is one thing that just like I want to blow my brains out about.
The tech speak or the text speak?
I'm coming over there in a second.
No, I'm asking you. I'm asking
text
you for
speak.
Oh, text. I thought you said tech.
Anyway, there are lots of words that are coming out of nowhere that really are meaningless, that are finding their way. Lexicographers are putting them in our language and jamming them in dictionaries for no reason, and our language is completely becoming obliterated. There are certain words like some that really tick me off in the recent past. Infrastructure.
It's a real word, though.
Infra meaning below and structure meaning structure, so it's a basement.
Yeah.
Anyway, but there are other words, and it's crazy mixture of words. Bleisure.
What's that supposed to mean?
Bleisure. That's a mixture of business and leisure. Hotels are using that. It's a bleisure package.
Oh my God.
Honey tearing. So your honeymoon, you can volunteer. You can do selfless individual work.
The honeymoon's not about being individual.
It's not about volunteering either.
No.
Well, I mean, you don't want to be forced to anything, but necessarily. But there are all kinds of these niche words that are just wearing me out, and they're finding their way into Webster's and Oxford dictionaries. Just, I don't get it. I can't.
Why can't we just use regular words?
Staycation.
I know.
That's
yeah, I've heard
now.
that. Yeah.
As if vacay wasn't bad enough, now it's a staycation.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's just not going anywhere. Sorry, just don't complicate
Staying
things.
home.
Yeah, don't add a word where none is needed. That's kind of my point. There are all kinds of, crazy, crappy words that are finding their way into our language. And some people call them stunt words, which is,
stunt words.
Stunt words. Yeah, they're taking the place of other words, euphemisms and things like that.
That's bad enough as it is. Okay. The whole stunt word thing. They're making up a word that's fake to call other fake words.
So there were staycations, which has evolved into playcations, so the children can have a place to exert themselves. And then there are gaycations, and I'm not even going. No, it's here. I'm not kidding.
Oh my gosh.
So, please, this is my forum. Whatever broadcast and streaming audience is out there, stop. Just leave the language alone. It's okay. It serviced us properly for hundreds of years. Quit playing with it and adding dopey crap in there, please. Just please.
Wow.
So there you go. That's my.
You feel very strongly about that, don't you?
Yes. I have dealt in the language since I was, one. I want to leave it alone. It's okay. Does its job. So
okay. No.
That was my rant, John. That's
go.
Oh, Jesus. If you're going to do that thing, just make it so we can hear it, for crying out loud.
It's up as loud as it'll go.
Well, then maybe we should lose it.
Why?
Because after 100 times. Yeah, after 100 times.
How cute is that?
Whatever.
It's cute. I like it.
Now, in, Exeter, I guess, in England, they were showing the movie Noah.
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody's up with that story, so I don't have to go into any background there. But they had to cancel one of the viewings.
Okay.
Because of a flood.
Oh, my gosh. They did not.
Yeah.
Is there a word for that?
Drownema.
Drownema.
I don't know. No, apparently the plumbing burst in the theater, and the theater flooded, so they couldn't show a movie about a flood.
Wow.
So, you watch out for that crazy ice machine and the Titanic, matinee, I guess.
That's too funny.
Yeah. Other movies, the skies could be the limit on that. Temple of Doom or whatever. Search for the whatever.
Pompeii, it burns down. Need for Speed, the car crashes into it.
Need for Speed, yeah. Everybody comes in on crystal meth.
That's great.
Whatever. But it was apparently the inlet piping on the ice machine broke and flooded the theater.
Wow.
So you weren't allowed to go in and see the movie.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing that movie. It looks like it'd be pretty good.
Yeah. Well, we'll just have to, that'd be us, and we just have to gather other couples.
Two of each kind.
Two by two. Anyway.
That's great.
I'm sorry. I just thought that was unique.
Ironic? It's ironical.
Yes, ironical.
Ironical.
Here's an interesting story, and it begs a question.
Okay.
In Dubai, a skydiver set a world record for the smallest parachute in a parachute jump.
That's not a record I would want to try to set.
35 square feet was this parachute, 3.2 square meters. So it'd be 5 feet by 7 feet.
And how high did he jump?
No, square feet. Yeah.
From how high?
Well, it would have to be a couple hundred feet for give it time to, deploy and, so it begs the question, the guy that came in second, what happened to him?
Yeah, why would you want to break that? That just seems like a horrible record. Like for the most limbs torn off by a rabid dog or something.
Well, that was in Cujo. I see. We'll have to watch.
Yeah, well, that's probably why I said that, like subconsciously.
Which is the realm that I continue to work in. No, you gotta. Let's say you have a parachute that's 5 feet by 7 feet, John.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to jump with that?
No.
It's the size of a flag, a tablecloth.
That's crazy.
Although I've done that from the roof, but not from a couple hundred feet.
I don't want to know what you've done.
Oh no, I did use I used a tablecloth for a parachute, and it
that does not surprise me.
It slowed my progress toward the ground. It wasn't really that effective.
You've done some crazy stuff.
Of course, I jumped from the same height without it, so it really didn't make any difference. So no, this guy. And it really doesn't give his name, which isn't that great. The guy, it says a member of the United Arab Emirates Skydive Dubai Parachute Team. Why are we getting this guy's name?
Well, maybe he took off when he was done and they couldn't catch him.
Maybe, while they were scraping him up, he forgot to give his name. So there you go. The world record, if you want to challenge that, is a parachute measuring 35 square feet. If you would like to go for that record, I will be happy to help you measure that chute and watch you defend the title, certainly. And you might want to leave behind a little bit of information on your next of kins. I've gone retarded.
That's great.
So, geez. You got anything over there, John? No,
I have something.
Okay. I'll leave my next story for the...
Apparently, the French just banned French employees from sending emails after 6 p.m. You can't work after 6.
Really?
You have to go home. Yeah. It's crazy.
You just grab your baguette and go.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. That's
I think that's a good rule.
Yeah. Well, and they're different in Europe, too, because they can separate home and work life. They don't work as many hours.
Yeah, they get something like, 6 weeks vacation in some places?
It's mandatory. I know in Germany, it's 6 weeks is mandatory.
Yeah.
By the government requires businesses. I think it's after you work there a certain amount of time, but they have to give you 6 weeks vacation.
In this country, I remember when I worked for a certain major manufacturer, which shall remain nameless because they were communist putzes.
Yeah.
I think you got, after 15 years or something like that, you got 5 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6. I mean, that's a little. It's a lot. That's a lot of vacation. But
well, you don't want everybody taking all.
No, I read something online the other day where a woman was done work at 5, and she was out at night. She didn't pick up her phone, and her boss had emailed her, and she didn't get back to her. And the next morning, she walked into work. She's like, "Why didn't you get back to me?" She's like, "What are you talking about?" "I emailed you." She said, "Well, when did you email me?" She said, "Oh, like 7 o'clock." She said, I'm done work at 5. I didn't come back in till 8.
Yeah.
"Oh, well, you need to check your emails." Okay, well, guess what? Unless you're paying me, I'm not checking my emails. I'm not getting paid to work. And she said, "Well, what were you doing?" Can you believe this conversation? "I was out with my daughter." "Well, you spent an awful lot of time with her." Well,
yeah.
Hello? Why would I have kids? They're kids. Aren't they supposed to be with you, and aren't you supposed to be spending time with them? What do you mean you spend an awful lot of time with your kid? What are you talking about? That's just crazy.
Well, I have one thing that I have left to do. Let me look at this. And I want to intro this properly. We haven't done this in a while. Our twit of the week. And this has to do with Twitter posts that we do to try to keep people on their toes. I don't know if John has that little intro up there. But we do have occasionally a twit of the week. And if we can just intro that, we'll take off with it.
And now, Doc and Amy's twit of the week.
I'm so proud of that. I know it's no. Oh, that's cold. We put extra stuff in there, echoes and things.
Gosh.
No. There are a few things that I put up there for folks to read. One of them, my ex described the excess around her middle as love handles. Usually handles on that much mass are reserved for pallbearers.
That's really great. It's very sweet.
Yeah. Here's one. Joe Biden and a Polish guy walk into a bar. The bartender says, "Whoa, one joke at a time."
Nah.
Anyway, we certainly enjoyed our visit with Dee Wallace today. Please check out our website, iamdwallace.com. Certainly check out our website, thedocandamyshow.com. We are going to end the show today with a selection from a friend of the show, Kathleen Blinsky. She was a guest on our show.
K-Paul.
And she does some pretty darn good music. And this is one of her selections, and I believe it is called...
Pickup Lines.
The Pickup Line song. Enjoy, and we will see you next week.
Yeah, fine, written all over you. No, I'm not a grocery item, but I can tell when you're checking me out. When you're checking me out, yeah, you're so sweet. You give me a toothache. You literally took my breath away. Can't have it back. I kinda need it. I may not be a genie, but I can make your dreams come true. I can make them come true. Yes, I can. I'm not drunk. I'm just intoxicated by you. I'm not stoned, but when you fell from heaven. Promise me you won't be leaving. Baby, I'm no Fred Flintstone, but I can make a bedrock. You rested earlier, 'cause it's gotta be legal to look that good.